Alright, so in this tutorial, final tutorial for the Spooky Forest tutorial, this is what we're gonna do. Yeah. Look, this part could slow down or come before or after a bit. I kind of don't like that. Right, but overall, this is what we're gonna do. So, revealing, but over here is, masked out, so you don't see anything. And it's going forward, and then it's also rotating, like a door hinge. Give a little bit of a extra visual kick to it. Yeah. And it has what you learned the last time, the tracking and whatnot. And it's not too bad. It's just let me quickly go over it then. There's a mask, right? There's more sophisticated ways to do this, but it's simple, it's clean, and not a headache to learn for new students. So, and it's everything that you guys learned previously, and we are applying it again to reaffirm what you learned, right? About the mask and set matte, and also like the fast box blur and whatnot. So, it's good. And you'll also learn about the 3D layer, the 3D effect. Yeah. So you have your shape layer mask, and let me hide it. And this thing is keyframed, simple keyframe. You know these lines, this shape made with a pen tool, which again you'll utilize again in terms of learning and applying it. And this shape is keyframed from here to the next one over here, aligned with this the rotoscoped tree. Only 1, 2, 3, and a fourth keyframe, so it stays aligned with the tree, like that. See, always aligned. Because if not, this thing will kind of fall behind over here and stay here static. So there's that. And with that mask made, the text, okay, the text right here, the text has a set mat. Again, what you learned previously before, we are reutilizing it again. And its little hideaway thing, gimmick, its trick, visual trick, it is using the shape layer. I should have named it mask for the text hiding behind tree. Make it really obvious, so that when you select the forest, right, and you need it to be hidden, set matte, set it to the exact layer, invert it, right, remember all of that, and then boom, you got your effect. And you have the rotation of the text, which is possible by turning the text into a 3D card. Right here, this little cube, right? And then the null that I taught the last class or the tutorial, it's basically an empty little box, empty little container that you do not see when you render it as a movie. And like I said, this thing is actually commandeering the controls of your forest text, right? The reason why is that you got all these keyframes due to the tracking that you learned, right? So you can't animate the forest text, so you need another guy to bully around this text, so that this guy we'll be doing the animation on top of what is already here in the forest, right? So as you learned previously, we had keyframes for the position, right? But since I turned it into a 3D card for him, the forest, now the null, right? I also turned that null into a 3D card, I believe. Yeah, I did. It looks like this, not that, but it is a 3D card as well, or 3D thing. Okay, so what happened was I animated a position for the null, right? That going across, and furthermore, where's the? Huh? Hold on. Oh, I killed off the... No, maybe I didn't. Oh god, I killed off the rotation. Did I? Okay, 1 second. I did. How did I kill off the rotation? Maybe when I unchecked it, I killed it off. Anyway, so just ignore that. It has the push, right? Going from right to left, from here to here, right? It's reveal. And on top of that, it has the rotation. The rotation is here on the rotate Y, okay? And I'll show it in real time so you know what I'm talking about. So I made it start off here. And then it from here starts to rotate. See the pivot point right here? Like a door hinge. This is the pivot point. And rotate, right there. Rotate. And what I could do even further is, just don't mind me, I'm going to crank it more earlier. So, see? Or maybe even earlier. Or up to here. Just grab it, move it. Maybe I was too fast. Anyhow, so that's what that was. You have the movement going across and the rotate as well. And yeah, so I'll start now. That was a bit of a long intro. Okay, so this is exactly where we left off, right? Now, first things first, I need to hide this so we don't see the text over here. So because, you know, obviously it's a dead giveaway, right? So we're gonna make our trusty little shape layer. You guys learned. First thing, let's name it, enter it, press enter, name it mask for the forest text reveal. Just make it super obvious. It really does help. Okay, so we made that, right? But right now it's just an empty little layer, right? So I need the pen tool, right? Remember? To draw it out. I don't want a stroke. See that? Click on that. Do the red line thing. Okay. Alright. Make sure your things looks like this. Blue, right? And blue. Don't use that. This literally makes a mask that is empty. Just use that. Right. If you ever wonder, because I used to wonder about this too. Anyhow, so I got the pen tool ready to go. Mask. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then stretch out a bit. Boom, boom, boom. You guys all recognize this, right? It has to be like here. And probably at the beginning too. It'll be really good. Get out of it. Right? And then I need to do some animation. Press P as in Peter. And the main point is have this mask follow the rotoscope tree. position, keyframed. I'm gonna drag along, and right here, I need to have it follow a rudimentary boom, 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 using the right column, right? I mean the left column, because that's left to right. See, and follows. Real generic form of a rotoscoping. Super generic. Alright, and then don't mind the animation of the text. Right around here, maybe give or take, I'm gonna set another keyframe on the first column. Yeah. Okay, good. So that's about it. Yeah, don't mind this. You know, we don't even need this because the text already cleared it, so we don't need that. So just leave it alone. Who cares? Grab it, and I need to apply a fast box blur around the edges. Or do I? No, you know what? I don't need to. Yeah, I don't need a fast box blur. Yeah. So from here, I'm gonna just turn it off. Okay. I'm gonna go to the forest, right? Because right now it's not working. Right? The mask is off. Grab the forest. I need to apply that little set matte. That little visual trickery. Double click. Right? You make sure you have the text selected. Set matte. We gotta choose what do you want to use. I want to use this, the forest. Text reveal. Boom. Oh, look. It's the opposite way around. It's not showing here, but it's showing here. Invert. Boom. All that stuff you learned before. This is great stuff to just refresh and go over. Do I need effects? I don't have any effects on my mask. Remember that thing? I didn't apply a fast box blur, so I don't need nothing. Okay, that's the rotoscope. So now it works, yeah. Okay, let's do real-time playback. So I guess it's alright, the speed. Yeah. Alright, we're cool. Now I want to add that little extra, you know, door hinge rotation style, you know, just to give a little bit extra kick. And you'll learn a little bit more too about 3D cards. So as you previously learned about a null, right? A null, right? It's an empty little container thing, and it's driving the right to left reveal, right? Blah blah blah. I shouldn't repeat myself by now. It's too much time and energy. So from here, what's gonna happen is we need to set up the rotate. I'm gonna grab it. I need to grab the text. I'm gonna turn it into a 3D card. So you grab it, you click on that box, it turns into a 3D card. So if you haven't learned what 3D cards are, it literally means that After Effects, it's not just a flat image, right, of that you see and you manipulate like Photoshop, but the things you make, like the text and other things and shapes, you can turn it into a card, a 3D card where it will rotate, go front and back in space, and as soon as you click on that thing right there. So now this text is a 3D card, which when I animate it, you'll see it in action, right? But right now I can't animate the text because there's things in here, right? So I animate the null, right? So from here, I'm going to open up, press R for I press U for position, so I see what have keys on them, U. Then I also press Shift R to also see the rotate, because I need to align the position keyframes along with the rotation, which has no keyframes, okay? So that was position, so I can see it. Shift and press R to also include rotation. So I'm gonna, oh, now I need to make the null a 3D object. Boom. And then that turns into a 3D object. You can see all this stuff. This means that you have all these other coordinates available. Rotate in the X, rotate in the Y, rotate in the Z. So in the world of 3D, you have your up, your down, left to right, and forward and back. So this is what this means. X, Y, and Z in the world of 3D. Y means up, X means left to right, Z means front and back. So let me just try to remember what is what. Is it, no, not Z. Yeah. Y. Rotate Y. Y is a door hinge. See that? This is why that's a 3D card. Yeah. Alright, so it's Y. Rotate Y. I'm gonna set a keyframe. Stopwatch. I'm gonna go forward. And over here, I'm gonna rotate on the Y rotation. Like that. So it goes from here. Okay. But so we did that. Here's a little thing though. For now, we're gonna get the forest, the text, okay? Turn off the set mat. Turn it off. There's a reason why. Okay, so we turned it off. Grab the forest, turn off the set mat so that the little magical effect is not working anymore. Go back to the null, the little empty group. You'll notice how you see it's a pivot, it's a handle is over here, right? When it should be over here. Because if you remember when we made the forest, we put the pivot over here. I hope you guys remember, and I hope you guys did it. We put it here so that you know, to guide and lead it. We did this for the other projects as well, moving the pivot, right? The forest. But now the null, its pivot is over here. It's kind of offset away from where the forest, its pivot is. Remember? Like that. Remember that? Right? I'm going to undo that. But the null, his is over here. So in the world of art, 3D and animation, this is something of a offset in a way. Not exactly, but they call it, it's something similar to a offset. Because so the null is here. It's not directly linked to the forest. Because when the forest moves, the null, come on, the null is right here. Oh, I'm probably going to confuse some of you guys, so I might as well just tell you exactly what to do. From here, I don't like that it's over here. The null, his movement handle is over here. I don't like it. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to open that back up. So I closed it. I'm going to open it back up. Clicking that. I'm going to grab it. I realize it's over here. I want his anchor point. Remember how everything has a anchor point, including the forest, you know, whatnot, and the null. His anchor point is over here, a little bit off. What I want to do, is move his anchor point more over here. Basically, just like it was for the forest. So it kind of matches, and I'll tell you why. Here, so grab the anchor point under 0, 0, the first pair of 0, 0 right here. I'm going to just move that, and you see the text move. I'm going to move it there. So it kind of fakes the alignment. Since I did that, I want to set a keyframe for the anchor point. Okay, I'll do that again. So you don't have to scrub the video. Here's null. I opened it up completely. Anchor point, highlight it. Here it is. Make sure you have the move tool. First column of 0, right here. Move. And you see the text move as well. It's fine. That's kind of an offset in a way. Once I do that, I make sure to set a keyframe because I will be animating the keyframe as well. I mean, animating the anchor point. Then I'm gonna scrub forward, and you'll notice the offset. You'll notice that the anchor point has moved back here again, right? So knowingly, I have to just grab it and then do something like that. All right, that way it's keyed. Okay. So I moved it back over here yet again. Okay. And then since I did that, I want to go to my position. All right, we did the anchor position, and all right, here's another thing. You know how just now I just grabbed the position, right? Because I want to manipulate something. You'll notice both keyframes are highlighted, right? I'll do it again. Oftentimes, sometimes it does this, sometimes it doesn't, but I'll set a keyframe right over here. I wonder if this mistake will happen. I'm gonna do this, something like this. Okay, move it down. Pretend I want to move it down. But when I go back, it also moves it down at the very beginning, right? Because I had this happen to several students, and it caused a train wreck, and it's not their fault, you know. It's just the way After Effects is set up for the longest time, from what I remember. But you know, when you select the position, it will do this. It will, or anything in general, it'll highlight both of the keyframes, which is not right. It shouldn't be doing that, you know, because you're gonna automatically start to try to keyframe, and if you forget that it's in blue at the beginning, you're gonna do both. Maybe it's a form of you know, trying to help out, and so you can do both at the same time. But regardless, you know, be careful about that. You know, when you grab onto these that already have a keyframe, but you know, if you don't have it selected and then you do a keyframe, you know, like that, see, only that is selected. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Just be careful when you select one of these, it'll select both. Just be careful about that. Okay, so boom. Oh, what I want to do is I want to move the text a little bit more back because he's awfully close to the tree. I kind of don't like that. So position, again, see, it selected both. So just carefully just uncheck and just click one, double check. You have to manually click it. Or rotation. Yeah, not position, rotation. No, wait, position. God, sorry. So click it. All right, just one. Make sure. This first column, pull it back. Right around here. Yeah. Nice. And the reason why I did that is I want to give it clearance. And aesthetically, it's nice. I like it. I want to also rotate it. So I want to go to rotate. And again, both of it is selected. I think this is horrible that After Effects does that. Makes both of it selected. You know, especially when you're first learning, it's going to cause nothing but headache. So I'm going to manually select one goddamn keyframe. And I'm going to rotate it some more. Like that. And you see how the pivot point is here? Right? I'll undo it. See? That's because we had the anchor point keyframed over here. So from here, I'm gonna just, I don't know, a little bit more. So from here, boom. And you notice how it's doing it all at the same time. See? So it doesn't really have anything interesting. So what you do is you go grab the rotate, you grab it, select it like that, and you do something called a offset. Meaning you grab it, you offset where it originally was, so it kind of lags behind. So if you notice here, the anchor point and the position, they have their keyframes. But also the Y rotate, his keyframes, we just shoved it forward later. So it comes in, it kicks in later. See? Nice. Ooh, maybe you could make it a little bit faster. So I want it to turn faster. So I'm gonna grab the end point, chuck it back. Alright, maybe I'll grab both of it and maybe make it turn earlier. Remember, I grabbed both of it, so it turns earlier. The reason why you grab both of it is because if you only grab the first one and drag it back, it makes the whole process longer. Okay, so that's basically it. And I can grab all of it and do a easy ease where it's gonna slowly kick in and slowly kick out. So you could right click, keyframe assistant, okay, easy ease, F9. Boom, it turns into this. Okay, and to take it further, you could grab the forest, not the null. You could grab the forest, and you see these little circles, turn on motion blur, so that it does that. See the blur? Off, on. Nice, it helped out a lot. And then make sure to grab the forest, turn on the set map, because we want that effect to hide it. It's a bit fast. Since it's a bit fast, oh god, stop. Alright, I'm gonna go to here, the null, right? That's driving the text. And I'm gonna grab these two, your position and anchor. Just that and that. And I'm gonna push it back to give it more frames. Yeah, so I pushed it back. I just eyeballed it. See? I want it to play back only up to here, so I'm gonna press N as in Nancy. Okay. So from here. Okay. So I think I want also the rotation to kick in right around here. So I pulled it, I grabbed it, and I yanked it back to here. See? That one. Ah, that's fun. Nice. That was okay. Little things like that. I think this is fun. I don't know about you, but if you don't like it, whatever. And you could do even little touch-ups on the edges that you learned previously, but maybe I'll save that for later. So this was 30 minutes, and so yeah, that's the homework. And in class we'll do some more. Uh, um, we'll put together your reel. So by now you should have 4 pieces. So it's kind of exciting. And we'll add the little transition points like I promised. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll see you guys Monday. Bye bye.